With the announcement of Divinity, I now have an excuse to play Divinity Original Sin 2 yet again. What I'll do with this video is I'll showcase a few fights, particularly the arena fight, and I'll show you how to build the characters for those who are coming from perhaps Baldur's Gate 3 or are trying Divinity Original Sin 2 for the first time. I'll be playing a ninja because this class is among the harder to play in the game, with the only advantage being that I get to start with the characters so I can min-max his build, unlike the companions, which you will see shortly as the video progresses. Without further ado, I'll hop onto the boat and show two of the optional fights to showcase how this build works as you start. Okay then, let's get started.
Down. So well. Onwards and upwards.
With enough persuasion, it's easy to skip this fight, but then you lose out on the XP, so I usually just take them out.
Grace, what was...
He eyes the collar circling your neck and reaches a hand towards his blade.
Another sorcerer!
The Magister's companion doesn't blink, frozen in place at the sight of you. He leaps to attention, then whispers loudly to the other Magister.
Don't just cower there, Rix! Take out your blade!
Rix raises his sword, which shakes to the rhythm of his trembling hand.
In case it wasn't obvious, this fight is meant to show you the armor system. Rix, with no armor and low health, becomes an easy target. Since I'm playing a ninja, my strategy relies heavily on assassination. Hit and don't get hit. Now for the dogfight, which can be particularly difficult depending on how you start your build. The strategy here remains similar. I'm attempting not to give my opponent an opportunity to act. With his physical armor gone, I can now control the fight. Being unable to burst him down, I use stealth to take the time I need to recover. And this should end the fight with ease.
Long before this thing snaps into splinters.
Upon arriving on the beach, you will be level 2. Your attribute points are best spent on one attribute, mainly your primary attribute. In my case, because I'm a ninja, mine is finesse. Quite obviously, strength for warriors, intelligence for mages. For combat abilities, it is best to focus on the school that gives your damage type the biggest boost. Because I'm physical damage, in my case this is warfare. Deviating only to pick up skills I need, in this case Scoundrel for my assassin skills and Polymorph for invisibility and Chicken Claw. The rest will likely be going into warfare from here on out. I don't focus too much on civil abilities in the first act. This is my face character, so I'll use persuasion, but I don't pay too much attention to this. For talents, you want to understand what your character is doing. For this case, because I'm a ninja, I picked the pawn so I can have free movement because my strategy is to hit and run. Now for companions.
Wizardry is embedded in my nature as deeply as the instincts to breathe and drink and mate. The dominion over fire suits me best, truth be told, but there is no school of magic I cannot master.
Someone with a little muscle. Really? I am adept as any in the fine art of hitting people with sticks.
Hi, who are you, some guy?
A lot of the time when you pick your companions, you will get a terrible attribute spread. Constitution is a dumb stat and I start with 13, so that's perfect. I decided to make Lohse a summoner because she'll be my support, and summoning allows her to output damage while using support skills on the side. It also kind of fits the lore because she has a demon in her head and she's trying to get it out, so I like to play that way. Of course, civil and talent points are chosen poorly, but this is just something that you'll have to manage during the first act. But the name of the game this early is armor anyways. Focus on getting armor and you should be fine. With that being said, in summary, this will be my support, so I'll focus on getting Lohse's summoning to 10, deviating only for a few healing skills into Hydrosophis as the game progresses. Let's move on. The Red Prince is my primary magic damage dealer, and so of course he has 12 Constitution. All jokes aside, with the Red Prince, I will almost exclusively put up Intelligence. I'll up Pyromancer and Geomancer in a 2-to-1 ratio, using the 1 for Geomancer to get other skills if I need support. Again, in Act 2, I will reset all of the civil abilities to get the ones I want, perhaps Bartering or Lucky Charm, but for now they stay as is. For talent points, because the Red Prince is a fire mage, anything that helps me set things on fire easier is a priority. In this case, it will be Torturer, which will allow me to put fire and burning onto enemies who still have magic armor. So that counts the physical DPS, the magic DPS, and the support. Last but not least is the damage sponge. You are looking at the best character in the game, and arguably the main character as he has the most lore in the story. I decided to make him an undead knight so he could sustain himself on the front line without relying on Lohse for heals, as healing an undead damages them instead of healing them. Because he will be doing physical damage, I'll be pumping Warfare as well as Necromancer for self-sustain. The strategy for him is to get up close and help the ninja control enemies once physical armor has been removed. This class also starts with Executioner, which is a talent that gives you 2 AP upon killing an enemy, which is one of the best in the game, so that's worth it. From level 2 to 3, the best thing that you want to do is all of the talking quests without fighting when you arrive in Fort Joy, as this will get you to level 3, and that will give you the best ability to progress. The arena fight begins at 11 minutes and 50 seconds. This is just after getting to level 3, solidifying the last pieces of my party. Here, for Feign, I'll put 2 points into Strength, 1 point into Warfare for more physical damage, and as for the talents, I'll get Living Armor so that when I heal, my magic armor is replenished on its own. That should give Feign more sustain.
A little respect for Griff's right hand, Topsy girl.
Right hand, my winker. Fella's got more right hands than an octopus.
That's it. I call court. Pay up.
Come on, old man. I can't wait all day.
Send us your children, your supplicants,
Right hand mine weaker.
Losa will be a little bit different. Because I'm running her primarily as support, I'll put up memory so that I can get a few extra skills once I escape Fort Joy. I'll also focus on summoning and Hydrosophis for her combat skills. 2, because with her talent all skilled up, I'll be able to help pump summoning while also being able to put a point in Hydrosophis. It will also give me a civil ability point which I can put anywhere as I'm not using that right now.
What of it?
Yeah, what of it? Ah, cram it in your gobblers, the both of you.
If you don't like the game, Topsy, you can fold. If you don't like the
For
game,
my
Topsy,
ninja,
you can fold.
I'll pump finesse by putting 2 points into it. I'll further pump warfare for more physical damage. And for my talents, I'll pick comeback kit. This is because even though I have a hit and run strategy, there are times where I might accidentally be revealed, caught out of position, or simply make a mistake. And in those cases, this talent might come in handy.
Pay up.
Can't beat ya.
A little respect for Griff's right hand, Topsy girl.
I told him at noon exactly.
Right hand mine
Didn't I?
weaker. Fella's got more right hands than an octopus.
What of it?
For the Red Prince, I'll pump intelligence by 2 points. I'll increase Geomancer by 1, evening them out, so I have skills for both Pyromancer and Geomancer at level 4. And as for the talents, like I said earlier, I'll go with Torture, so that I can set people on fire through magical armor.
Respect for Griff's right hand, Topsy girl.
You come to fight. You good. Who aids you? Choose one.
Now we begin the arena fight. This fight is set up for you to be able to take advantage of the high ground, and I do just that. Noticing that the archer goes next in the move order, I attempt to try to crowd control her before she can get her turn. It's important to know the range of your skills so that you can coordinate them properly. I quickly disabled the archer and then entered stealth to see how the battle progresses. I move Fane to high ground and try my best to coordinate him with the ninja, both targeting the archer. I move the Red Prince to high ground, and then immediately try to set enemies on fire. Damage over time works best the sooner it's applied. I now move Losa to high ground, and because she's support, she can support either magic or physical damage. In this case, I choose physical to help burst down the archer. I quickly realize there's not many opportunities for my ninja, so I decide to stay hidden. I continue to try to burst down the archer. I decide to use Fossil Strike to slow down the melee unit and force him to take more damage over time because of it. I place down totems with Glosa, as well as using Encourage to buff, as she is support. With everything in cooldown and not many opportunities, I decide to get high ground to see how my next turn will unfold. The 2 action points I saved from Vayne last turn allow me to use Bouncing Shield to cleave the enemy physical armor, move down into range, and knock them both down while engaging all 3 at once. I tried to set the oil on fire, hopefully creating a wall of fire for the enemy melee unit to walk through. However, this backfired. Blind and burning, the wrong decision here could swing the fight out of my favor.
Glory is mine.
With full action points, high ground, and backlash, I can close the distance and harass anybody who does not have physical armor. What makes the assassin so difficult is its tight positioning, as you can see here. Mages remain weak early game as they don't have many options. I immediately remove pressure from my support. Here the question is whether he would make a beeline for Losa or Fane. Because I didn't know which one, I decided to hold my ground. Losa, that was a mistake. Now I use Bouncing Shield to lower his physical armor, and then Mosquito Swarm for sustain, as well as Bloodsucker to top off on any health that Fane might be missing.
Glory is mine! I'm fading!
The sustain pays off.
Well, that was easy.
Well fought.
And there you have it.
The one
I'll
will
come with
walk
more
among
fights from the first act
not
soon,
dead.
so stay tuned.
Someone will yet be chosen.
You may yet be the one. You prove yourself. A warrior traveling the path of the one should not be collared like.
You cannot hurry the one. Patience does not come.